You ever look up from your Saturday morning tea and spot something so wrong, so out of place that it knocks the breath out of you? I mean, picture me standing in my garage, sun just climbing over the rooftops, mug in hand, steam on my glasses when I see this thick black cable, heavy duty coiled like a snake running right out my garage and down the drive. For a split second, I think, did I buy something weird off eBay again? But no, that's not it. So I step outside and boom, right there in broad daylight, my neighbor's fancy white golf cart is parked, like it owns the place, plugged into my exterior outlet, like I'm running the neighborhood's public charging station. Let that sink in. My driveway, my power, my Saturday hijacked. Now you'd figure most folks have a sense of boundaries, right? At least that's what I always assumed until Beatrice happened. I march over there trying to keep my chill, and she's standing there, manicured tennis skirt, the whole queen of the cul-de-sac look, smiling like she just won the HOA lottery. Oh, I ran out of juice mid-ride, and your garage was open. Neighbors help neighbors, right? No apology, no shame, just that high and mighty wave. I tell her as polite as I can muster. Next time, can you ask first? She gives me a look, one of those, bless your heart, but I'll do what I want, looks. And here's where it all slides off the rails. 3 days later, I catch her on my security cam bolt cutters and one hand tongue sticking out at the camera, just hacking through the brand new padlock I put on my outlet. Didn't even try to hide it. Just snapped my lock and plugged right back in. That was the moment it hit me, being the nice guy, the sure no problem neighbor that gets you absolutely nowhere with folks like Beatrice. So I switched gears. I got creative. I got a clipboard, a stopwatch, and a plan that she'd never see coming. Now, before we get to the good stuff, let me back up a sec and give you the lay of the land. I'm a 35-year-old software engineer who spends more time restoring vintage radios and beat-up mid-century furniture than I do on Zoom calls. My garage is my sanctuary, a climate-controlled, obsessively organized temple of soldering irons, precision tools, and you guessed it, sensitive electronics that hate power surges. I love that space, and I never figured I'd have to defend it like a medieval castle against a 62-year-old HOA queen pin. Beatrice, yeah, that's her real name. She's been running this street for over a decade. She's the self-proclaimed matriarch, the voice of the HOA, always ready with a lecture about the community spirit and property values and whatever other nonsense keeps her busy. When I moved in, she showed up with banana bread classic move. Looking back, that was the Trojan horse, just a reason to get inside check if my furniture was up to code or something. So that Saturday, I find her cart, find her cord, and find my patience running out. I knock on her door, she opens it in a tennis outfit. I swear she's never sweated in a day in her life. I say, hey, I noticed your cart's plugged into my garage, trying to keep it light. She laughs this fake little airy giggle and just says, oh, it was an emergency. I figured it wouldn't be a bother. Right. I explain about my equipment, about private property, and ask again. Please just ask next time. Her smile never drops, but her eyes, man, they go cold. Well, she says I didn't realize we were being so transactional. I'm on the HOA board, you know. There it is, the subtle threat, the flex. I'm just the lowly resident. She's the law. Fine. I let it slide. I unplugged her cart when it was done. She drove off without a thank you, and I decided that was it. I bought a heavy-duty lock for my outlet, put up a little private property, no trespassing sign, and mounted a camera aimed straight at my driveway. Not because I'm paranoid, but I wanted peace of mind. For 2 days, all was calm. I figured she'd gotten the message. I was so naive. Day 3. I'm deep into work and my phone buzzes motion at the driveway. I check the camera. There she is, strutting up my drive with a pair of bolt cutters, not even pretending to sneak around. She snips my lock, tosses it into the bushes, looks right at the camera, winks, and sticks out her tongue. Childish, grotesque, like seeing your grandma moon someone at church. She plugs her cart back in and leaves the cable out there like a flag. Later, I find a note on my windshield. Stop being so selfish. Barriers to community access are against the spirit of the neighborhood. I'm shaking, part rage, part disbelief. It's not about electricity anymore. It's about the sheer entitlement, the violation. She broke my property and then called me the problem. So I gather my evidence, the video, the busted lock, the note, and I send it all neat and professional to the HOA board. 3 days of silence, then a reply. I'm the one violating community trust for having a camera. Beatrice was just preventing her cart from becoming a roadway obstruction. They warn me, tell me to remove the hostile signage, that heavy, helpless feeling. That's the taste of living under HOA tyranny. The rules don't apply to her. They're just hammers she uses to hit everyone else. Honestly, I almost gave up. Thought about selling the house, letting her have the damn power. But then I look at my workbench at that old radio I'm bringing back to life, and I remember something my dad used to say, if you lose because you quit, you didn't lose. You surrendered. I wasn't about to surrender. So I dove headfirst into the HOA docs, bylaws, covenants, addendums, 300 pages of legal mush, and at 2 in the morning I find a golden ticket, an old maintenance rule from 1998 still on the books that says all exterior outlets have to undergo a mandatory safety power cycle, meaning power to outside outlets gets cut off every night from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. Nobody's followed it in decades, but it's an official rule. And Beatrice, she worships rules. A plan starts to form, petty maybe, but perfect. I get a stopwatch, a clipboard, a high-vis extension cord, and a weatherproof logbook. If she wants to use my outlet, she's going to get it by the book. Next morning, 5:45 a.m. I'm out there in the driveway. Sure enough, her cart's plugged in. At 5:59 and 30 seconds, I'm standing by the outlet. She comes out, wild-eyed robe, flapping, coffee sloshing. "What are you doing?" she yells. "Morning, Beatrice," I say, all smiles. "Just performing the mandatory safety compliance check per the 1998 addendum." She stares like I've lost my mind. It's 6 a.m. I say, checking the stopwatch, "Maintenance window's over, time for power." I plug her card in. That evening, I'm back, lawn chair, stopwatch, clipboard. At 5:55 p.m., I start the countdown. Beatrice comes out screeching, "Get away from my cart! I'm just enforcing the bylaws," I say. "Power has to be cut at 1800 hours. She's fuming, but what can she do? At 6 on the dot, I unplug the cord, make a note in my logbook, and wish her a pleasant evening. This goes on for days, charging by day, nothing at night. Her cart's running on empty, stalling on hills. She's pushing it home more than she's driving it. Neighbors start to notice Mr. Henderson across the street is grinning every night. People walk their dogs past my place just to catch the show. Someone posts a video on the neighborhood Facebook group. Caption, "Just the hero we deserve." By day 5, Beatrice is cracking. Hair's a mess, eyes wild. On day 8, she ambushes me with a paper emergency HOA meeting, 7 p.m. tonight. She's accusing me of harassment, abuse of electrical systems, and creating a public spectacle. She thinks she's going to drag me in front of the board and make me look like a lunatic. What she doesn't know is that in all those late nights, I didn't just read the safety rules. I read the financials. I found line items, thousands of dollars for common area vehicle maintenance. But the HOA doesn't own any vehicles. So what's being maintained? Dig a little deeper. Turns out the invoices are for battery replacements, leather seats, a lift kit, all billed to the HOA, all for a white Yamaha Drive 2 Beatrice's cart. That night the room is packed. Beatrice gives her speech full of crocodile tears, painting me as a menace to the peace of the community. She's got the board eating out of her hand until I stand up, hook up my laptop, and play the security cam video. Bolt cutters, the wink, the tongue. The room gasps. Beatrice turns ghost white. Then I show the invoices, the custom upgrades, the receipts, the audit. Beatrice hasn't just been stealing my electricity. I say she's been using your HOA dues to build her dream cart over 12 grand in unauthorized expenses. The room explodes, neighbors shouting, board members panicking. The vote to kick her off the board is instant and brutal. They exile her, order a full audit, launch legal action to get the money back. She's banned from all the community perks for a year. She just sits there stunned, no more queen, no more kingdom. Walking home that night, I expected to feel like Rocky at the top of the stairs, but it was quieter than that. It felt like a weight was gone. Next morning, I wake up late, make my coffee, stroll into my garage, no cable, no cart, just my piece and my tools. The stopwatch is still there, a little trophy for surviving HOA Thunderdome. Neighborhood's different now, lighter, friendlier. Folks wave, tell me their own Beatrice horror stories. The new board is actually decent. As for Beatrice, she scurries past, head down, sunglasses on. Her cart sits under a tarp, collecting dust. Guess repairs are a lot pricier when you have to pay for them yourself. Looking back, here's the lesson that stuck. Bullies count on you being polite, on you backing down because the fight's just too much trouble. But sometimes you gotta fight smart. You gotta learn their rule book better than they do. Use their own weapons against them and remind them that while they might run the show, you own the theater. And when justice finally lands, man, there's nothing sweeter. So here's my question for you. Where's the line? When does standing up for yourself turn into petty revenge? And when does it become justice? Have you ever tangled with someone like Beatrice? Drop your story in the comments. Let's see how many of us have lived through this kind of circus. If you got a kick out of this HOA drama, hit that like button and tell me your own tales of malicious compliance. I read every single one. Stay petty, folks.